Hello and welcome to Armonia Seminary. My name is Alethea Thompson and I will be guiding you through this lecture.
A Jedi knows enough of the law to operate within it. Jedi should respect and do their best to live by the laws of the land they are living in. However, these are man's laws, and like man, subject to flaws. A Jedi must act for the best interest of mankind as he or she sees the situation. The law can be complicated, and everything is meant to streamline a healthy society. The Jedi compass leaves one wondering when one should stand up to the law and when they should leave it alone. It even makes it seem like there's a door open to becoming part of rebel forces, as Luke Skywalker did against the Empire. As with everything, we have to explore what it means to respect the law. What you will be learning in this lecture is Armonia College's take on how to traverse this particular ethic. In the United States of America, it was decided a long time ago that separating religion and government was the best method of running a country. And since then, quite a few Western countries have come to agree with this philosophy. But today, as in multiple times in history, we can see a number of other countries which have not moved towards such a system. For Muslim countries, Sharia law is still of great importance because it keeps the people in line with the structure that Allah intended for them. Cultures across the world have some disagreements with pieces of Sharia law and call upon those pieces to be taken out of commission on the basis of human decency. Despite a dislike for many of the horrible things that go on in the world, Jedi in the movies were charged with working on the mission at hand. In Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon Jinn mentions that he is not on a mission to free slaves, but that he made an exception for Anakin because he felt it was the quote-unquote will of the Force. In this, Qui-Gon was acknowledging a respect for the law while recognizing that he had to break the rules because it was, well, meant to be. Of course, that wasn't a fictional universe. In real life, we do have examples of people that stepped outside of the law because they recognized it needed to be changed. Sometimes it works, and other times it may not at all. Rosa Parks is known for having stayed on a bus to make a statement. But did you know she wasn't even the first one? The question then becomes, well, where did the others go wrong? Most of them, nothing went wrong. And in fact, many of them went on to challenge what had happened to them in court, winning. The first one was a 15-year-old student named Claudette Colvin, and she helped change the law. But history books tend to dismiss her and about 9 others in favor of Rosa Parks. While these guys challenged the law in the courtroom, what really won over the masses was Rosa Parks had the right team to take forward an idea: the Montgomery bus boycott. The boycott caused the business to lose a huge profit, eventually leading to the Supreme Court overturning the law. By taking away profits peacefully from the Montgomery bus system, it became apparent that unless African Americans were given equality, various industries could easily suffer. It was also a demonstration that the majority of African Americans could be reasonable in their arguments, that they had just as much worth as any other citizen. On the other hand, the wrong response can create catastrophic results. During the 1900s, Los Angeles saw 2 major riots take place: the Watts riots and the LA Rodney King riots. Both ended horribly for the rioters and caused the police to, quote-unquote, up their game and increased local government spending to accommodate the upgrades in training and equipment. The Watts riots, however, did at least have one good consequence come from the incident: an anti-poverty program which was established only at the insistence of Martin Luther King Jr. There is a common misconception that the Jedi in the movies were not really involved in politics. I don't know exactly where that came from, but if you really studied it, they were pretty much embroiled in politics all the way through every single movie. But the reality is, We're in the real world. We're not in a fictional universe where Jedi can get the grand status of being an advisor to a government entity, or the one where they automatically gain the role of a general in combat. We live in the real world, and here there are a variety of ways that we can impact the laws in our respective countries. When considering your own role in helping your community, it will be necessary for you to define whether or not politics is something which should be a part of your journey. This can be as simple as just educating yourself and voting when the time arises, or it can be more involved, such as making the decision to step into the role of an actual politician to make your town, city, county, province, state, and or country a better place. As with any action that challenges or supports a government, our actions echo into the future. When we look at the line respect for the law, we have to recognize that there are some things which are not worth fighting against. We may gain support from others. After all, a lot of conquest started with one person's ambitions, and they managed to attract a large enough army to move on their ambitions. But just like many of those conquistadors, it doesn't mean that what we do to impact the future is going to actually help it. Sometimes it will do more harm than good. Just look at the modern conflict in the Middle East. Where the Jedi compass does not preclude participating in civil unrest, what we do clarify here at Armonia College is that our actions in a sovereign country should be dictated by the laws that it adheres to. We do not believe in stepping over the line and joining an extremist group which engages in violent activity. A Jedi's whole life can be summed up in the words of the U.S. Army Military Police Corps. We are to assist, protect, and defend healthy civilization. A Jedi's role is to be there for society, but society must define what it wants. We can act as guides and attempt to convince people that they are headed the wrong direction. But as with the Jedi virtue of tolerance, we should never impose our values upon them unless they become an abusive threat towards ourselves or another person. Everything we do impacts the world around us. Beyond the shattered glass could be a better future or a worse one. It is up to us to decide how we move forward. A Jedi should exercise wisdom in every action they take, knowing that beyond the glass they are about to hit lies a future that may or may not hold the best possible outcome. In everything we have talked about, we spoke of countries which hold true to the value of the law. However, not all societies have a way of properly enforcing the laws. Corruption can run amok, and even in a country where something is technically illegal, the local law enforcement may be corrupt or too scared to enforce those laws. Thank you for joining me, and may the Force light your path.